Yo, what is going on? You're checking out Kyujin HQ. My name is Chris. Welcome back to the channel. So, Yunzi sent me a little care package today. They sent me their KC84 Pro Mechanical keyboard. This one is in their frosted acrylic translucent case with their bluish rainbow keycap set. So I'm really eager to check this keyboard out. But also in the box, they threw in some ACO coiled aviator cables. These ones come in multiple different colors, and they're only $25. So they're a much more budget-friendly option, which I'm really eager to check out as well. Because when it comes to coiled aviator cables, I mean, you could spend a lot of money. I've spent upwards to $100 plus on certain cables, and you already know the mechanical keyboard game is pretty expensive. So once you start going crazy with cables, that rabbit hole, it runs deep. So to see some nice budget-friendly $25 cables is definitely a cool thing. Now, I don't expect these cables to knock me on my ass, but hey, man, I mean, not every keyboard needs to be, you know, overly done. I mean, if you get a keyboard that's like $100 or under, why would you want to go spend another $100 on a cable? Getting some $25 cables just makes some sense. So that being said, let's go ahead and start with the keyboard itself and check out the KC84 Pro. Inside the box, you're going to receive a keycap puller as well as a switch puller. We also get a command sheet here with all of the keyboard's functionality, and then we get a generic white rubberized USB Type-C cable for power. Take a look at the keyboard itself. These keycaps are absolutely gorgeous. These are very, very nice looking keycaps. They are that bluish rainbow pastel looking colorway. And I'm going to tell you right now, the further back you see this keyboard, the nicer it looks. Like it just looks more, I don't know, colorful. And even the different angles that you could take a look at it at, like it's just sitting on your desk. This is an attractive keycap set. I must say, they did nail this. Full PBT, so they will last. They are durable keycaps, and they do have shine through legends as well. When it comes to the font, they're all pretty consistent. It's a little gamery though at times. When you take a look at like B and R, some breaks in it, and the G is like an arrow. Kind of, you know, unique, but at the same time, not too serious. The colorway here is the real winner. Take a look at the case. They call this a frosted acrylic. I call this clear plastic. You can see directly through this without an issue. There's really no frost to this at all. So you should get a lot of shine through RGB, which we'll see here in a moment, hopefully. But other than that, the case is pretty just plastic feeling. You got 4 rubber feet here and then 1 level of adjustment when it comes to typing, which I'll probably use because if you take a look at the sides here, it doesn't sit that high. So I don't want to really strain my wrist. I'll probably end up using these adjustment feet here. But taking a look at this case, feeling this keyboard in my hand, it does not feel of a high quality. There's a ton of flex in this board. Just by lightly touching it, I'm getting a lot of creaks and cracks in this board. Like, listen to this. Like, that is, yo, yikes. That is not the best sounding board. There's a ton of flex in this, and I don't know how long this plastic case will hold up with a lot of usage. So keep that in mind. The real winner seems to be, so far, the keycap set. Absolutely gorgeous, but this acrylic case, it's more of just a cheap plastic. Not a huge fan of that so far. But that being said, let's go on and move on. One quick note, there's an indent here for that rubberized USB cable for power, and that's kind of a bummer because I'm going to tell you right now that these ACO cables those Yunzi ACO cables, they're not going to be compatible with this keyboard. So if you want to get a cool colored coiled cable here and match it with this keycap set with this particular board, it's going to be a no-go with these you know, aviator cables. But if you are able to get this keycap set separate, I will link it down below in the description, and then you can throw it on your own board obviously and match it up with one of these cool aviator cables. But yeah, so far with the flex and the sound of this board, I'm not the biggest fan, but the keycaps are an absolute win. When it comes to the RGB glow on this keyboard, it is a little lackluster when it comes to the case itself. I thought this being a full clear acrylic case here, I was gonna get a ton of RGB bleed through on the bottom, which we get a little bit, but not as much as I personally thought we would get. So it's a little bit of a letdown. But when it comes to the shine through legends, we're getting a ton of RGB glow up top here. Very vibrant and very nice looking. Personally though, I don't think this keyboard needs the RGB with this keycap set. I think this keycap set is the absolute showstopper, the winner here, and I would not rock RGB with this keycap set personally. You might, and that's cool, and you have that option, and it does look really nice, and you do get a lot of shine through bleed here through the keycaps, which is always a good thing. Everything functionality wise is done through the keyboard itself. As far as I know, there's no program available for this keyboard. Hey, Future Chris here. So I was incorrect. There actually is a program for the KC84. Yunzi reached out to me during the process of making this video and said there definitely was one, and I was able to go ahead and find it and download it. And if you want to download it, it will also be linked down below in the video description, like always. Using the program for quite some time now, it's actually really seamless and well done. It's very easy to use. It actually works better than bigger name companies' keyboards that I've used before. So this is a pretty simple and easy to use program. When it comes to obviously creating macros, it's always pretty standard to record your own macros. When it comes to regular device control, you could do a lot of things with this. I mean, you could actually have this keyboard launch applications. So if you didn't want to use it as a main keyboard, or you just want to have a certain button launch a certain application, depending on what you're doing, you could have the keyboard do that. Pretty easy. Obviously, you could switch profiles as well, because you could save multiple profiles to this keyboard. You can create shortcuts, key combos. You could control multimedia tools and change them around, disable certain buttons. I've been having fun with the text here. Basically, I've changed the letter S to say to sub to Qgen HQ. So just quick thing here, if you just literally type the letter S in the search bar, it will say sub to Qgen HQ. I guess cool. I mean, you know, but at the end of the day, you know, it's not something that everyone's going to use, but if you want to have that option, it is here. You can create quick macros as well, remap keys. Here is probably the big winner, is going to be the more RGB control that you get with this program. So most of these are pretty standard. You've seen them on a lot of other boards before. There's nothing that's too over the top. When it comes to control, I would probably keep mine on static. And you can have fun here and obviously very easily click whatever color you want. You even have the color code you could put in to get a specific color that you might have in mind. And obviously you could change the brightness as well. I guess you could say that the biggest, most, I guess, random one would be this musical rhythm one here, where the keyboard will basically dance to music that you're playing. So here we go. You basically get it. I mean, is that gonna be something that...
Oh my god, I think I forgot my underwear in his car last
week. Okay. Would this be something that I would personally use? I don't think so. But you might want to, and that's pretty cool. Again, I'd probably keep mine on static, but I really wanted to just touch base right now and let you guys know there is a program for the KC84, and it's very seamless and easy to use. And I'm not going to take the time here to go through all of that. It's all listed on the command sheet at purchase. But if you do want to change things like brightness, it's just function up or down arrow. And then you can go through the spectrum of different colors here. Overall, though, like I said, when it comes to the vibrancy, through the keycaps up top, beautiful. Through the actual case itself, it's a little lackluster. But one thing that is pretty shocking, before we get into the sound test, I will have the sound test at the end of the video, the stabilizers on this keyboard. They kind of shocked me. I thought they were going to be absolutely atrocious, and there's a little bit of ping, which is to be expected, but they're not that bad. Little, you know, hollow sounding, but there's not a lot of rattle here, especially with as much as flex I'm getting from this keyboard. The stabilizers are actually pretty shocking. So the typing experience we'll check out here in a moment, but before we do that, let's go ahead and check out these colored aviator cables. Now, these aviator cables are a much more budget-friendly option for us keyboard users out there, which is absolutely amazing. They're only $25 in price, like I mentioned earlier, which again is a great thing. Now, they're made of a more durable TPE material. So that's going to give it a more rubberized finish and look to it with a little bit of a shine, which makes sense for the price. And now the cables themselves are pretty straightforward. You have a male and female end aviator here. The female end is going to be the coiled option here with a USB Type-C connection, while the male end is going to be a straight cable to a USB gold-plated Type-A connection. Both aviators are super easy, 4-pin detachable, easy to install and uninstall very quickly, so you can mix and match colors if you want to. And overall, it's got a decent length to it as well. The entire cable from start to finish is 170 centimeters in length, with 120 centimeters of that being straight cable, and finally 20 centimeters of that being just coiled here. Now, when you take a look at the coil, you do have a good flex in it compared to other coil cables out there. And if you do stretch this a little bit, you get a little bit more leeway here, but it's a much more thinner coil cable than we've seen in more premium ones out there. Like I said, to be expected for the price point. but the colors are pretty nice. Speaking of colors, there's 6 total colorways available via their Amazon storefront, and I have 3 colorways to show you guys here today. First up, we have the Sakura colorway. It's based off the very popular Sakura keyboard and keycap set. This looks absolutely beautiful. It's a nice pastel light blue and pink to match, and these are very, very attractive looking cables here. Next up, we have the Ocean Star colorway, which is one of my favorite keyboard color sets to date. This is a nice dark and grayish blue that I could see matching a ton of other keycap sets out there. And lastly, we have the Midnight colorway. This is a pretty close in color to the Sakura. It's a much more deeper pink. It's more of like a purplish pink in my opinion. And we have a more aqua blue here as well. I really do dig this colorway, and I can see a lot of people mixing and matching these 2 colors with the Sakura colorway as well. Taking a look at the other 3 options over on their Amazon storefront, we have a cool matcha color scheme. Also, we have a macaw color scheme, and my personal favorite is the neon colorway, which I'm gonna have to for sure pick up to match my neon 3061 I got lying around here somewhere. These cables again are only $25 and definitely hit that more budget-friendly option. If you like these, I would jump on it pretty quickly because I can see these selling out pretty fast. The price is just on point, and the fact that you can mix and match these will for sure help elevate anyone's desk setup. And I'm curious to know, which colorway would you pick up, if any at all, down below in the comment section. So overall, the big takeaway from this video is these aviator cables are absolutely knockouts for the price. The keyboard itself, not the best keyboard that I've used. It is a ton of flex, and that sound feedback from the flex is just really uneasy, and I'm not a huge fan of it. The keycap set, on the other hand, is beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous, solid, beautiful PBT keycap set with that bluish rainbow effect is a definitely must-have when it comes to picking up those actual caps. If those caps are available separately, I will definitely link those down below. I hope they are. But when it comes to price of this keyboard, you're looking at $95. Currently, at the time of this video, there's an Amazon coupon that will knock it down to $87, which still isn't terrible. But overall, I would really like to see this keyboard in the state that it is now, priced probably around $60 or $65. If I could only get these keycaps via this keyboard, I might be more inclined to spend the 87 bucks because they're that nice, in my opinion. I think they're really nice looking keycaps. Overall, the typing experience, you're going to hear that on the way out. I'm going to tell you right now, the stabilizers shocked me. I thought they were going to be way worse with all the flex that I'm getting from this board, but they're not that bad. And overall, the typing experience also isn't that terrible on this keyboard. It's definitely a decent typing experience for as much flex as I'm getting from this board. It's just really that sound feedback I'm getting from this clear acrylic plastic. Now, this keyboard is made in a few different other colorways, so maybe those cases might be a little bit more flexible. And obviously, you guys can crack this thing open and mod it yourself if you really want to take it to that next step and make this keyboard definitely sound a ton better. If any of you guys do that, please hop over to the Discord channel and drop some photos. I want to see the work that you guys do. I love that. Also, in the Discord channel, we're going to be starting giveaways every 30 days. Nothing too crazy, but a nice monthly giveaway is pretty healthy for the community. Maybe I'll give away some of these cables. All right, guys, that being said, if you guys are new here, please consider subscribing. Maybe share the video with a friend. Give it a huge thumbs up if you liked it. And overall, you guys stay safe out there. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.